hanging out with Victor Cruz, who's now put on the headset. What's up, Victor? How are you?
What's up, guys? It's always like I'm in a different world. When I put these headsets on, I'm like, am I even at Radio Row right now?
Right. It's funny because like all you hear is what's going on up here,
Exactly.
but yet it's chaos around us.
It's pretty maniacal in here. I'm not going to lie. People are buzzing. Things are happening. There's mascots behind us. It's popping.
Nuts. We were talking about like we've seen dogs walking by
exactly.
and all kinds
I heard that's been like the big deal. This I haven't seen this many dogs at a Radio Row ever.
Yeah.
I think ever.
Yeah, it's wild. Okay, so the game this Sunday.
Yep.
What do you think heading into it? The major storyline that you're focused on as we head towards Sunday, Seahawks, Patriots. What do you have your eye on?
I think the biggest thing I got my eye on is Sam Darnold. I think he's obviously proven up until this point that he can handle the big game, but this is the biggest game, right? Like, can he continue to put the ball where it needs to be, to hit his playmakers, to command that offense like he's been doing all year long, and really bring it to the forefront because he's going to need to. I mean, it's just one of those games where quarterback play is going to be important, and we'll see if he can bring it home. Last time we saw him in a major game in Minnesota, he didn't look great. So we want to make sure that he goes out there and puts his best foot forward. So that's kind of what I'm looking at mostly.
What do you think when you watch a guy like Jaxon Smith-Njigba?
Oh, my God. I mean, he's unguardable, and I love it. I love to see the smaller receivers with quick feet that are fast, that can get in and out of those breaks, be unguardable, because I felt like that's what I was when I was playing the game. And it's good to see him dominate the league like this, the way he's doing.
Okay, so take us inside. Adam and I didn't play at any.
Sure? You guys look like, I don't know.
Please, you should have seen us standing next to some of the linemen that we've talked to throughout
James
the week.
Harrison was here earlier, and I was just like, I'm sorry, Mr. Harrison.
Like two of y'all, right?
I know,
I think if you had a third, we wouldn't even be what James Harrison is.
Exactly.
So take us inside when you're training and the prep in the off season. How do you get to the point? Like I think some could say, well, it's God-given talent for Jaxon Smith-Njigba, but you were there, you trained, you were at that level. How do you train to become that as a wide receiver in the National Football League?
Well, I think you're right. I think part of it is some God-given ability, but I think the other part of it is to continue to nurture that and continue to advance that, right? He's not just satisfied running a slant route as quick as he could or running a post corner to the best of his ability. He wants to know the nuances of the footwork. So in the offseason, I always want to get different tricks of the trade on releases, different footwork things at the top of my routes. I used to call Chad Ochocinco and just pick his brain on different things he wanted to do when he ran an in cut or when a guy was on his inside leverage and he had to go in and that was just the route concept. What did you do? How did you get that guy to believe you were maybe going vertical or going the opposite way and then break across his face? Did you slow down? Did you pat your feet? So it's all the nuances of the game now that he has to master so that he can remain unguardable, because now he's on film. Guys watch his tendencies. They know what he likes or doesn't like to do. They know when he's inside or outside. He's pretty unguardable in the sense of schematically. It's hard to scheme for him because he can line up pretty much anywhere. But now as a corner individually, if you're one of those guys that likes to match up with their best receiver, you're going to be matched up on him. They're going to watch his tendencies. So it's important for him to understand how to, stay on the cutting edge of what he wants to do and not let them get a beat on him.
When you were at the line of scrimmage, what were you looking at?
I was always looking in to see my quarterback, see what snap count or things that were happening, but I was always periffing his feet. Was he on his heels? Was he ready for me to jump back? Was he off man? Was he press man? Was he inside leverage? I always wanted to see how he was going to play me that particular game, so I knew how to counter.
Okay, I asked this because there was a story in Chicago, a rookie wide receiver. There was a tell that was out there that when his mouth guard was not in, they knew that it was not going to be a running play, right? They knew, and so, and I love seeing the NFL film stuff of the old Hall of Famers or Jerry Rice talking about how he had everything in his uniform perfectly situated every play, and he had everything because he didn't want to give a tell away to the defense. Do you think young players today think about that stuff? Or is that more of an older school, I'm trying to get an edge at every angle? Is there something that you thought of when you were playing?
I definitely thought of that when I was playing. I think younger players should absolutely think like this. Any advantage that you get, I used to run guys off like it was a go route on a run play. So if I was one-on-one on the backside, I was treating that like a route. So the guy had to play me as if I was getting the ball, and then it was a run play away. And he'd be like, damn, why'd you do all of that?
Yeah, at least you're making him run more,
And then the time where I do run a route, he doesn't know whether it, and then I'm gone. And then I'm either getting a big play, a catch, or a touchdown. So you always want to keep your defender on his toes and not knowing what the heck is going on, and keep him disheveled at all times so that you have the advantage.
Some guys, it can take years to develop the kind of chemistry we've seen with Darnold and JSN. It's taken 1 year. How can some guys defer and take 2 years, and some guys can take 3 years, and some guys it can take one off season to be great together?
Well, I think it's those guys clearly spend a lot of time together. Like, they spend a lot of time talking about the game, practicing route running, throwing the ball, probably met in the off season somehow, and had some conversations about how they wanted to run, their drills and how they do their thing. So I think it starts with the leadership of Sam Darnold. I think for me, right, Eli Manning brought me in early. We were in a lockout year, and he brought me in that offseason beforehand, and we were throwing balls in the middle of Hoboken, New Jersey. So, like, that, but that really let me know how he liked the ball to be thrown, how he liked the route running to be, where he wanted me to be on certain things. And at the time, I wasn't even a starter yet. But once I became that starter that year, it just helped. We just flowed because I already knew the nuances of how he liked to operate and how he liked to throw the football around. So it was a good deal. So I think the leadership, it starts with the quarterback. I think Sam Darnold, coming from San Fran, coming from Shanahan's offense, understanding what it's like and what it looks like to be a successful quarterback, I think that helped him get JSN on the right track early.
We only have 2 minutes left in this segment, so I want to make sure we get this in. You're here on behalf of Discover Puerto Rico. Tell us about that.
Yes, I'm here on behalf of Discover Puerto Rico, encouraging everybody to go to Puerto Rico. It is a cultural phenomenon. I love it there. I'm half Puerto Rican myself. I still have family there. I go visit them each and every year. Between the food, the dancing, the energy, the salsa, of course, it's just a place that is unlike anything else, and I think you're going to get a taste of that on halftime on Sunday with Bad Bunny when he goes out there and performs. And then my friend Isaiah Pacheco's hosting the Plena Game Report, a watch party alongside some actors of Puerto Rican descent, Amaury Nolasco, a football analyst, Felipe Martinez, and Grammy-nominated Plena Libre on Complex's YouTube account. So make sure you guys go out there and check that out. It should be a fun watch.
Victor, before we let you go, who do you have winning the game this weekend?
I got Seattle by a lot. Do you think I'm going to root for anything New England? No chance. I got Seattle by 100.
There are very few players that have actually
a lot of
gone
players
in and just said, you know what, I don't like New England. I'm not going to do this. You're one of the few. I appreciate that.
We had some Ravens over here, and they were like, no, we don't want anything to do with the Patriots.
I appreciate that.
The stuff in the news with the Colts and whether or not they're voting for the Hall of Fame for Belichick and all that, that's out there. We love the rivalry. Thank you for stopping by. This was fantastic. We appreciate it.
My pleasure, man. Thanks for having me. Have fun the rest of the week.
Victor Cruz, Discover Puerto Rico. Make sure you check it out. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app.